नृतं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय, सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, शब्द ब्रह्म की जय, सरस्वती महारानी की जय, योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। Today we are going to see the essence of Yoga Vasistha. Of course, we have discussed this chapter, Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakaran, second half, and 85th chapter, which holds the essence of whole Yoga Vasistha. And this essence very often we go on discussing. Everywhere the essence is explained. So, only explain whatever is explained, it is in elaborate form. Only essence is repeated again and again. The consequence of all this, the end of all these shastras, and of course Yoga Vasistha, and not only our Indian scriptures, but scriptures of the whole world, not only of your world, of any universe, anywhere, any way, whatever anything is. The essence is one thing, it is. And it cannot be not. It cannot be not is. It has to be is. Is means presence. It has to be present because the truth is only one. It cannot be two. It is one, so without a second and all-pervading, all knowing and all controlling, almighty, omniscient, omnipotent and omnipresent. These qualities, though it is not the qualities, it is the state of the truth. It has to be like this, then only it is called truth. And it has to be one only, and this essence, this truth is explained by the human beings in different ways, by different religions, with different faiths, on different kinds of social rules and regulations, everything. May it be innumerable difference they are, but essence is one. You have to come to the center. Let there be thousands of circles around everywhere, but it will have only one center. So what we mean to say, we are discussing what happens when the creation is created, if at all creation is there, because we are. So we have to talk about our being. Our being means our existence. How do we go on with life here on the earth, and what all possibilities of life in other existences, different existences. All these we discuss, and absolutely in the end we come to the conclusion there is only one truth which exists in all conditions, at all time, in all ways, in all situations, everywhere, at all cost. Only one thing has to remain. That is the truth. And if at all it is one only, then what do we see? The question comes, what do we see? Where we are, how we are many, and why this world is like this. It is not one. All the names and forms what we behave with, all these are different from each other. All these differences are seen. Why, how, of what cause? All these we have to answer. Then only the one truth will be admitted as one. It will be accepted, or else all these many, I am there, I have many things, I have relations, mine is there, and my life is something as per our understanding. I have a time limit in everything. I am subject to time, situations, and relative transactions. I have some relationship with every name and form around me, and whatever I have contact with. All these we have to consider. Without that we cannot come to any conclusion which will be agreed by everyone, which is bound to be agreed. So this is what we are discussing, and we have started the story of the golden rock wherein there was a creation. Vasistha, our great guru, great yogi, who saw that beautiful creation inside that rock, and the story, of course, we have discussed. Story is a story, but all the facts and figures, they are discussed completely in detail, and in the end Vasistha explained the creation was there, and he saw the end of the creation, the solution of the creation from outside that creation. And he was explaining what happened, what is the process of the solution. And that also we saw the time figure is most important. Time and the power of the time, they control the whole universe. Time means, that also we have discussed, time means a counting process when everything changes and when one becomes many and everything has relationship with each other. That process is called time. And so time differs from place to place, condition to condition, and in any way we see it changes, time changes, and also time repeats itself again and again. In this way, when we see, so when time changes and time repeats itself, so when there is creation, there will be sustenance of it for some time, and time plays role, and then it has to dissolve one day or other, somehow or other. And what happens when it dissolves into nothing? Dissolves means there will be zero, nothing will be there. Whatever we see as creation, it should be deleted completely, then only it is called dissolution. So what happened? We saw it. That is called time. They got the personified time and its power. Without power, time cannot do anything. Power means its activity or activativeness. When it activates, then only it is known as power. Or else it is, when it is stagnant, it is never seen as the power, or then it is not named as the power. So when it starts working, changing, then it is called time or nature or creative process, and it has to change again. So it has to stop creating, that is called dissolution. And the time factor is the main thing here. So power means Kali, the time power, and time is a holder of the power. So when the creation dissolves the both time and its power, they dance means they grumble, they get confused, and they break all the rules, and then a situation comes when all these changes stop. That is called end of the creation. When the changes stop, what happens then? From all round vision, we have to judge it impartially. All this world what we see, it is only a changing process of names and forms. That is what we know as the life's relative life's way of living. So when the changes stop, naturally the world will stop. If world stops, what happens? That you may use any words as you like for your dictionary or your knowledge. Whatever words you can say, everything in a standstill position. Call it dissolution, call it Kalaratri, the gap between two creations, call it as you like, because time repeats again and again. That's why if creation is dissolved, then again creation will be there, naturally. What we see in this, our so-called creation, we see time changes and repeats it again and again, so it has to go on with it. In this way, what happens when we see everything in this process? What happens in the end when everything dissolves? That means it comes to a standstill position. How will you express it? What will be the language? So when everything stops, your expression also, you cannot express it. That's how it is called absolute silence. Nothing is known. Nothing is known means nothing is experienced, nothing is expressed. But everything experience is there. There is something. You cannot say it is nothing. You cannot say anything on it. Because your language is useless there. This way we were discussing, Vasistha explained to us what happened in the end when the time power Kalarati danced. In the end she disappeared when she tossed the time god. She disappeared in the time. The power disappeared means time stood stand still. And that time also is not known anymore as time. Time means it should change. So no more it is known as time. So what remains in the end? Absolute remnants remains. That remnants is the truth. Call it in any language, any word, any way you like, directly or indirectly. Directly nobody can say anything. We have to express it indirectly by some indicative words. That is the end of our knowledge. Know as many things as much you can in this world which is going to end one day or other. Your knowledge, so-called knowledge, is good for nothing. So, coming to our subject now, what remains in the end? वन आदि का छाया में प्रवेश किए हुए पुरुष की निजी छाया जैसे उसी के रूप की हो जाती है, वैसे ही पुरुष में प्रविष्ट हुई प्रकृति पुरुष रूप ही हो जाती है. He gave an example. And Ramji means all the seekers, whatever. We analyze all these. We have general questions always which anybody can ask. Anyway, mostly all these questions are asked. Where does it dissolve? We have to say the holder and the hold. If the hold is unseen, it is hidden by the holder, then we have to accept the existence of the holder. We have to. We give sometimes, analyze sometimes the starting of life, monocellular beings, amoeba, etc. Then when they get together, two cells, two atoms get together, they get compound beings. They are known as hydra or other animals which are first seen in water. Then, of course, slowly the life went on changing and progressing in a way. So those, that amoeba, how it grows, it captures its prey. It spreads and holds the prey and encircles it and the prey becomes one inside the atom amoeba. That means the prey itself enters into the womb. Womb means the body of the amoeba rounds up, envelopes all round of the prey, and that became one with the amoeba, and soon it bloods into two, and their race goes on increasing. And it happens so quickly, that is what we say our spreading, our corona or all other virus or bacteria, they spread so quickly. In 1 hour it will be innumerable, crores and millions. This is how the beginning of the creation. And what will be the end? The end also comes to the same point, because it is round. So what we mean to say, what we want to analyze, we see, when the power works, that is called in philosophic language willpower, knowledge power and creative power. That creative power works means it creates, means one becomes many, and the many becoming many process goes on endlessly without any limit. So when it dissolves, the creation dissolves means it has to stop. That means that process stops. Everything comes to standstill position, that cannot be named as something, because there is nothing, and which is meant everything. So he says here, the question was, the example was given, just as we enter into a dense forest at that time, persons who have got their shadows outside the forest, we see our shadows. So when we enter into the dense forest, where everywhere there is only shadows, no sunlight, so where our shadow disappears, where does it disappear? Will you say our shadow mingles with the other shadows and it disappears? Is it? Can you say like this? Who is the cause for the shadow? Now, cause is the light, cause is the person who has got the shadow. Without that, shadow cannot be existing. And light also should be there, and the shadow holder, the object should be there, then only shadow is seen. And when it enters into the forest, everywhere there is shadow only. how do you express it? Where the shadow disappears. It has to disappear in the holder of the shadow, or it has to disappear in the group shadow or the total shadow.
Shadow is seen, but shadow is there, but it can't be seen because there is no light and trees are covering.
Because cause is not there, so effect is not seen. We can say in this way. So, if effect is there, that means cause will be there. Okay. Now, if the creation is there, what is the cause of it? Primordial cause, what is that? We say the cosmic causal body. Causal body, which has got a will to grow and become more, many. I am one, let me be many. This is how the creation starts. And that ego is seen only when it wants to see itself. So that will is in the very beginning. I want to see myself. So there will be some identification of the I. That is the primordial ego, the cosmic ego I. And it starts multiplying, becoming many. That is the process of world creation. So when that willpower stops, cause is not there. In the end, that I, that identity has to be there. And that identity cannot remain for long as I, as an identity, because identity should have some purpose, because it has to become the cause. Without any purpose, there is no effect of any cause. Got the point? Without any purpose, there will not be any effect of any cause. अरे जब कोई मतलब नहीं है तो कार्य क्यों करना? जो कारण तो चुप रहेगा, कोई मतलब नहीं तो कार्य क्यों करना है? Got the point? If cause which is stable has some purpose, then only it can become many. That manyness, becoming many, is the purpose. Becoming many. When the manyness, the purpose is ended, that means the cause also has to keep quiet. Keeping quiet means there is no cause. So that I also should, that identity also should disappear. It has to, it does disappear.
So the first cause is ekaki na ramate.
Eko ham bahushyama. Eko ham bahushyama.
You wanted to play.
It wants to become many. Why? Because it wants to see itself. When one sees itself, it cannot see as itself. It has to see itself in parts. Because seeing is a process. Or seeing means having contact. Contact is possible in dualism. If I is there is no purpose, there is no two, then there is no Seeing. Seeing means having contact. Understood? Contact is possible only in two. If one is there, there is no contact. You cannot see yourself. Close your eyes. That is called meditation. There is no two. And if there is two, then there is a purpose of having contact with the other. That process is called becoming many or seeing myself as many. Ekoham Bahusyam. The moment it starts acting, all this process has to be there. Becoming many, seeing by having contact with others. One has contact with the other, other has with the other. So it goes on. This is called relativity. Relative world, which is based on only absolute one. If there is no one, there is no all this seeing or becoming or being. In this way, when we analyze everything, only to see what remains in the end.
Where does the seed of seeing, the desire to see, come from the singer? That has always been a
Yes.
question.
Where from this willpower comes to see.
Right.
You see, I will, as per my knowledge, of course, it is indirectly supported by all the scriptures, directly nowhere. When you feel, how do you feel to scratch yourself? Come on, simple thing. I have got some itching. I want to itch.
The sensation.
If this is simple method, simple action, if we analyze what happens really, how one hand goes to the other part of the body and starts itching. Why? How? What happens? You are sitting calmly. You are completely silent, means there is no movement whatsoever. Now your body starts moving and you feel something on the other part, and one part goes to have contact with the other part. That is called itching. Each guard. Okay. Analytically, what happens actually? That steadiness when it was completely silent, the body, mind, everything, the personality that is known as the one person, that is otherwise known as the ego or I. When I was completely calm and quiet, steady, then what happens? In many ways, that vibration starts vibrating. One way we name it as becoming many. Other way we call it expressing itself. Other way we say it is movement or action starts action, which we again call it willpower or the creative power which is inside the willpower, which is other way also known as knowledge power. Power means movement, which was steady, silent. Then when there is little disturbance which is not there and yet appears to be disturbed, that disturbance means nothing else other than the vibration, vibratory process. And that we call as sound, that we call as power, supreme power, and that is named as Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, or three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, in many ways from different angles, because it vibrates in all 360 into power 360 to the power infinity. On every way it starts vibrating. Those vibrations are named in different ways by different seers from different angles. That's how always there is confusion. And there is always fight against each other. This is not like this is like this. The same vibrations are known as unsteadiness as per our common language, unsteadiness, or the life starting of the life, or we can say ekoham bhaushyam as per the Vedas. We say it one becoming many. That also we can say one expresses itself, one sees itself, because one is there only. That's how there cannot be any two. So it has to see ourselves, the example yourself. When you get up from the deep sleep, you feel yourself first. I am. That I-ness, thousandth part of a second, it spreads all over the body, starting from the steadiness of the heart. When it starts vibrating, it starts vibrating all round, every way, and the whole body. Then you feel I am the body. It takes no time. And then you feel I am as a body. And then body starts moving. Prana also, prana of course was working. That's how this I, that ego which was stable, prana has to work only, or else body cannot function. Prana vibrates all over the body, and it vibrates the brain cells also, which is known as mind or intellect, etc., etc. Thought waves. So this prana is otherwise known as sound, because it is vibration only.
This I can understand, Swamiji. The samashti I can't understand.
Samashti is steadiness, the center.
So, how the idea?
And how it vibrates, why it should, because it was silent and it was steady. Why it should move? Why? So answer is, it is not there. It never moves. But it appears as if it is moving. Why? How it can appear? All these appearances are known as superimposition. That is what we know as the illusion or illusory power which is known as something instead of something. That is our great teacher Shankaracharya ji gave the bright example. The rope appears as the snake. It is superimposed, it is imagined, because something is there which is not seen. So, if it is not seen, because it is steady, so something we have to imagine. So that imaginary superimposition is the world or its activities or willpower and creative power, which we say expression of the truth. It wants to see itself, or it becomes many, or it sees in itself as many parts. All these languages are highest language we can use. Now, how it appears to be like this, example we have given, because its nature is so, it is absolute transparency, perfection, clarity. That's how it dazzles. That dazzlingness, that means the glow of it. At this point I must tell you, don't laugh. Truth is nothing but a glowworm. One small worm, and it glows always. Its glow is its nature, which is not different from itself. So truth is glowworm, and glow is the world, and worm is never seen. When it glooms, it is not seen. When it doesn't gloom, it is never seen. This is how the glowworm is hidden ever and ever.
So we have a question. This question is about one to many and many to one.
Yes.
Now
Thank you.
in the world, today we can see very common one to many. Because of one to many, people are having children, people are having desires, they're creating wealth, they're creating sense of security. But how does a person this is the one to many act, but from many to one, how does he or she they behave in the society?
Same thing I am explaining. Don't forget even one word. I am using every word very consciously. It is so difficult to understand. Every word should be understood. You see, when you get up from deep sleep, that is what I was telling you. What happens? There was no I. Isn't it? Ego is completely silent. Ego is silent, but prana was working. That is what I was explaining you. That body vibration is going on. It never stops. If it stops, you are dead. When body vibration is completely stopped, that means you are dead, and that is how that blueness from end of the body that slowly grows and whole body becomes blue. Whether the person is dead and not dead, The doctors see the nails first. How the prana is working. If it starts becoming blue, that means prana is withdrawing, and it will withdraw in the heart, and then it wants to get out. There are 10 gates. Any gate it can get out. And of course, then it is different. We have to see in what way, what gate, how, when it gets out, and what will be the result of this departure. Now prana is working, and then when prana is working, yet the ego is silent. How does it happen? Ego means the mind. Mind means the brain function of the brain. Prana works all over the body, starting from the end of the hair. It vibrates. The vibration of the heart, the center, is known as prana. And same thing is otherwise known as the sound, and it is in Vedas, it is expressed as Omkarasthātha Sabdascha Dvaveto Brahmana Pura Kantham Vidva Vinejato Tasman Mangalikavuhu. First, in the very beginning, it came out of the mouth of the Creator, and that's how it is. 2 words. Why 2 words? First is Om, second is Atha, means then. When it starts functioning, then what happens? That means it will go on. Without then, there is no meaning of Om. Because it has to go on multiplying. The purpose is to multiply. So in this way, one way it is known as sound, other way it is known as the word Omkar, or other way from different angle of vision. Other way it is known as prana, vibration. Other way it is known as willpower or creative power or knowledge power. Power is known as power when it activates. When it is silent, it is not known as power. So that is what happens. Positively, power is withheld or it is silent in the real meditation. But in deep sleep, negatively it is withheld. In meditation, prana also never works. Prana stops. And if it stops for a long time, there is some time factors. It is known as samadhi, but nidra, deep sleep, prana works, but mind stops. So prana means the central vibratory process, which works in the brain, which is known as chitta or subconscious mind and intellect, etc., ego, etc. But all these fourfold mind is not total prana. Prana vibrates and then all these are seen. A part of the prana. Prana vibrates all over the body. So in deep sleep, the brain never works. But prana works, never stops. But that's how it is called negative or it is called deep sleep. Body cannot work, only prana vibrates the heart and the main functioning parts of the body. Mind never works. Sometimes when it works haphazardly, that is known as dreams. When it works fully, that is known as our working state. Now, when the mind starts working, then it feels the body. If mind is not working, but prana is yet working, that is called coma or murcha, we say. Before death, it happens to everyone. All these different phases of life we have to understand clearly. When it comes out of that deep sleep, first it has to feel the body as I by the ego. Then only the personality is understood as the I. Or the prana is there, but there is no feeling of I. It takes a fraction of a second. Prana works so fast. And mind, of course, you know how quick it is. So what happens? In that fraction of second, the I, ego, feels the body as I, and then it feels many parts of the body as a whole, and then it starts many parts of the body. Body is not one. Body is felt as many parts. The head and all the parts of the head, body, everything, it cannot be one. That's how every now and then we discuss, you are never one, you cannot see yourself as one. You have to see yourself as many. And how it happens, when you forget yourself as one, then only you can see parts of your one which is many. If you want to see one total, then you have to go to coma, or to the deep sleep, or to the meditative state. Or else you cannot see the whole totality as one. You have to see manyness in one when you are activating, means you are in waking state. That means the feeling is there, I am one. But when you act, when you see yourself, you never see the whole totality. Cannot. You have to forget one, then only you have to see many. That's how in the very beginning Vedas said, I am one, let me be many. That cosmic being is equal to the individual being. Individual being is nothing but the model of the cosmic being. Jat Brahmande Tat Pindande, whatever is there in the cosmos, it is present in your individual body. Everything is a model. Then only the world is there. When it multiplies, when it expands itself, that's how it becomes the cosmic body. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So now coming to our point, this feeling or seeing manyness is nothing but in other language also it is called expression of itself. I am. Understood now? I am. That means I am many. I see myself as many. I feel myself as many. I have become many. Use any language, it becomes appropriate. I feel myself as a many. I produce myself as many. Eko ham bahushyam. Eko ham bahushyam prajayaya. Let me create many. Myself, let me create many. This is creative power, creative willpower, creating power. And knowledge power, without knowing you cannot create. What are you going to create? You must know what are you going to do. That is your purpose. That purpose is your knowledge, your feeling, what you want to express. That's how the purpose should be there. So why all this creation started? The point when one wants something, then he creates. Want is there only when one forgets itself. Or in other language we can say that oneness is completeness or fullness or whole totality, which is called one. When it forgets that one completeness, then it feels I am incomplete. That's how the will or the wish starts. I want to become full. That's how the starting of the willpower is there. I want to become full. I want to see myself as whole. But you will be whole only when you see the whole totality. There is no end. There is no end to whole totality because it is in all round planes, all round directions. It is unending. So there is no, that's how it is called Anadi Anand. It is endless and infinite.
So you can say it's a kind of disturbance.
Disturbance which is not there.
Which is completely equilibrium. And a certain disturbance causes.
This disturbance is nothing but it's low. You see, when you see some flashlight, you cannot see exactly the center of it. When you look at the sun, it is so bright, you cannot see the center of the sun, only you can see the outside aura of the sun, which we know as the light, rays of light. And real light is the inside state of the sun, which is not of any color. It is simply glow, so bright you cannot see it for more than even a second. The eyes go blind. That's how sun is to be seen with a particular mudra at the rise time or setting time. Midday sun one should not see. You will go blind. Why? Because the real light, the center cannot be seen by all these our gross eyes. That is the color of the truth, light, because it is so blooming, glowing. That's how it is never seen. And whatever we see, it's rays only. So there is always the question, and there is always suspicion what it is, how it is. That's how it is hidden, it is never seen by anyone. Then comes another complicated question. Who is asking all these questions and who is going to answer all this? Where from this question starts? Now we come to the question, how does it appear to be? What is the form of the question? Question is nothing but forgetting the answer. Answer means the truth itself. When it forgets itself, then question comes. Sometimes what happens, these questions. One day, of course, everybody can have this experience, must have, many have seen it. All of a sudden, somehow or other, you get up from your sleep in dark night. You see something in the room. One example I will give. Two friends, they were staying in one room. Very seriously, they wanted to appear the final exam. Go on, day and night. One was too tired and he was sleeping. It was about late night. And the other was sitting outside the room veranda because he had to use the light. The other friend will be disturbed, that's why he was sitting outside the room veranda. He was going on with his studies. The room boy was tired, so he was sleeping. And all of a sudden something happened. He got up and in dark room he saw something and shouted, oh, are somebody is there, oh, Munu, there is somebody, some thief, shouted, shouting. Then friend was sitting outside. What has happened to you? Nobody is there. I am sitting outside. It is light here. The door is closed. How one can enter? Where from? Thieves came. No, you come. They are standing and they are trying to kill me. And when Munnu came inside, see, those three black suits. Yesterday they washed it and it was outside, it was raining. So they tried to dry it up inside the room and they were hanging it. And in dark night, when he got up, he shouted, there are some thieves standing there, you see. So let us, this happens always, anybody can, anywhere it can happen. So we should analyze the process, what happens really. You have no idea at all, you are silent. Okay? That means everything is perfect, balanced. Now if something happens, anything, all of a sudden, due to some cause is darkness. Because it is not darkness, in other language we can say, it is unawareness of yourself. It is not darkness, you are not aware of yourself. Okay? Then you have been aware all of a sudden. Now what happens? Whatever is there, it was dark, so nothing was clear. Dark means you are not aware of yourself. When you became aware of yourself, anything can happen. This is from darkness to the light, or from ignorance to the knowledge, self-knowledge, or from self-knowledge to the darkness, both ways. This is how, when you forget yourself, then anything is superimposed. That is unawareness of yourself, forgetting of yourself. Then something comes which is called ignorance. That's how the philosophers say worldly people are ignorant. That means they don't see the reality. They are shouting, thief, thief, thief. When you are aware of yourself, you will not shout. Awareness means light. The Munuk came inside and on the switch. Where are the thieves? Oh, I mistook. This is same just as our rope and snake. Because you don't know the truth. Anything can be imagined on the truth. And that is what happens with ourselves. Ourself means the individual being is nothing but the absolute. When it forgets itself, then all this body and manyness is in. That is called world. Body and body's relations is known as world. Nothing else. I and my. My comes, my holds everything within it. Any relations, any transactions, any contacts with any object around me in 360 degrees. That is called world. Because I forget myself, and that is otherwise known as the willpower, that Ichha Shakti. Ichha comes, the willpower starts when you forget yourself. That is otherwise understood as when you forget the completeness. You feel some need in you. That need is incompleteness. Then will starts. I want to be complete. That's how I want to be many, or see many, or create many, or have contact with everyone. Then only I can become complete. That's how the willpower starts. Ichha Shakti. And this Ichha is unending because you have forgotten yourself. Life is a unending story or unending journey. It is a novel. Go on adding different roles in it. Unending novel, unending story. Life's journey is unending in this way. The moment you feel the completeness, see yourself, then all these vanish in no time. The moment you on the torch, where is the snake? Where has it disappeared? This is how the starting of the creation and ending of the creation. All these we discuss or we see, hear from the scriptures, Guru, mouths of great people, in different languages, in different ways. When some stories are told, of course we have interest to see this, hear the stories. And that's how Kal and Kali, we have some forms in our mind. It should be black and it should be terrific because it is Kal, death. Time means death also, which ends everything. Ends means creates also. So changing process. In this way, this Kala becomes a time, God becomes terrific, Bhairav, Bhayankar, terrific, and its power also similar. And when the power stops, it has to be steady, that is time. And when the time disappears, we were discussing about I. I cannot stand for a long time as I. Om cannot remain as Om because it is a process. So it has to go on changing. That is known as then what? Then what? So it goes on changing and multiplying. When it stops by any cause, by somehow or other, then that stoppage, though it remains for the identity for some time as I, the cosmic ego, it cannot remain as I because I is an expression. It is expressed, which was present when it feels the presence, that is called the cosmic I. I am. And it cannot remain as I for long. It has to multiply, it has to go on changing. And that's
Can we call it Samashti ego?
Samashti ego, yes, cosmic mind, cosmic will.
Ego is there even in the Samashti form.
उसी का नाम तो ब्रह्मा है, विष्णु है, शिव है, कुछ भी कहो. Same thing in different way, from different angle. There is no difference at all, but from different angle when you see it appears to be different. This way, the remaining remains as nothing or everything, which is unexpressible. That's how it is expressed in the word. Our says, the remnants is the truth. Remnants is the truth. What remains, that cannot be expressed. There is no word.
Best way is to be silent.
Absolute silence. That is the end. And when it dazzles, because it is dazzling only, so the glowworm starts glowing. The darkness disappears for a moment. Yet the glowworm, the holder, the source of the glow never is seen by anyone. The glow is seen, and that is not the reality. This is how willpower, this is how I, and that is the absolute I, and this is how creation starts. Our life is in the same formula, and the whole creation, and starting and the ending, it goes on. There is no number of creations. Any moment, anywhere, it can appear and disappear. Anywhere, any moment, by any way, you can see the creation and it can disappear. That's how, in the beginning of this story, Vasistha said, when he was going towards that rock with that celestial lady, he saw many creations in the Brahmandas in the way. Ramji started asking, please tell me how were they? So he was explaining how are they. And then in the end he has to say, it is all my imagination. As I want to see it, so I did it. Imagination, as you think it appears to you. And how then you can ask how many worlds are there? Keeping all these at one side, coming to our practical, our so-called real world, which the modern sciences, they don't agree to agree. They don't agree to agree with us.
I'm slowly agreeing, sir. Slowly there is agreement coming.
They don't like to believe anything which is not seen by the 10 senses or 5 senses. But by these senses or super senses, you have to, which is known as intellect or supra-intellect or intuition, you have to agree something is there beyond your intellect, which is known as experience, which never wants any proof. Now, you are in one world, you are trying to see many other worlds as per your vision. And you say there is life on the earth, there is no life on the moon, or there is no possibility in Mars or Jupiter or Mercury or Venus. What do you know by life? Of course, we have some definition for jiva. Jiva means a living being, a being. That definition also is defined in many ways by many seers. There is no one definition for the being. Being means who has become. So simple. Why don't you agree to it? Whatever he has become, is known as being. Go on classifying living being in a unliving being or any way you like. But being means whatever has become. Who has become? Who was not been, that has become, isn't it? So becoming means having a figure, having a lining, having a boundary, having a limit. That is called being. Will you disagree? So whatever has become is known as being. If it goes on becoming, then it is living being. If it has stopped becoming, then it is non-living being. Or if the movement is not seen by the moving beings, then it is known by the living beings as non-living being. But it has become. One who becomes, it has to go on becoming. This is the rule. So, being means to move or to move on. That is called life. That's how it is a changing process, ever changing and ever repeating and unending. This is called world. And we believe on this world. Though you agree it is changing and ever repeating, and yet you believe it, you have support in it. You accept it as everything. Is it not foolishness? You believe now which is changing. What greater wonder can be than this? We believe what is not steady, which is ever changing. And we need some proofs for unchanging. See the limit of our foolishness. Now this way, when we analyze everything minutely from every angle, bit by bit, then we can understand something, what remains in the end, what is that remnants, and what is really known as meditation. Understood now? Meditation means your death, complete death. Our Patanjali to dupe you, to catch you, said Manda, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Do you understand this formula only to its real depth? Chitta Vritti Nirodha means what remains then? Where are you? And where is then? There is no meaning of then. There is no then. When the mind stops really completely, maybe there will be body, maybe life remain in the body in a steady, real equilibrium state. The life may remain or may not remain, that is different question. But if it remains, that means they say prana stops and remains within, without vibrations, without vibrating. It remains steady. That is eternal kumbhak. Prana remains steady, and that is possible also. And that's how they teach you pranayam, to stop the prana slowly and increase the timing. That's how a time will come when prana will stop forever. And the body will sustain itself, because when prana works, then only it needs some food. Means other energy to be energetic. One energy gets transferred into the other. That is the process of energy. One gets support from the other. That is called Anna. Anna by Brahma. It goes on in cycle. One becomes food to the others. This way prana remains steady without any food, without any change. And the yogis, they stop the prana anywhere in a particular point where they like better for particular person, either heart or in Brahmarandra or in Ajna Chakra, anywhere as per the will and easiness of the practitioner. They stop it, that is called dhyana or samadhi, and jiva is no more jiva.
So the Sukshma Sharira separates from the Sthula. Sukshma Sharira will separate from the Sthula at that time.
Sukshma Sariri. Sukshma Sariri means an ID.
Yes. Sukshma.
So Sthula means with all our flesh and bone and outside and inside, all this blood and everything, the nerve system and working process. But Sukshma is fourfold mind, prana also, the vibratory process, and the impressions collected, all these. So together, that activeness prana and the instruments, those senses with the body in subtle form, and the managing process, that is fourfold mind. So this triangular force with eightfold aspects is subtler body, which governs the grosser body. And in this way they are one and the same. Just as our government and Samvidhan institution, they are not different from each other. Government and constitution, they are not different from each other. But while working, it appears to be different. Similarly, this gross body and subtle body, they are not different from each other, but they are different. From one angle they are different, and all the actions are done by the gross body. That's how the subtle body and gross body has become one. There is no government without constitution. There is no gross body without subtle body. So they have become one, and all these actions they are conducted by the togetherness of the two. Then only karma pradhana vishwa kari rakha. All the actions are done by both together identity, and when they differentiate, they are differentiated by discriminating the power. They become different, then there is no question of gross body. The subtle body remains without the gross body. When election time is over, without government also, the government runs with only the rules and regulations. It creates another government, gross body. It has to, or else it cannot activate.
When this prana stops at that time,
Of course, prana in subtle way will be there. That creativeness is called prana. Subtle body also is not silent, it has to move on according to the force of the karma. They are subtler departments. Prana, subtle prana and gross prana. Gross prana works throughout the gross body. Subtle prana is the cosmic prana which is present or which is ever present everywhere. The creative force, chesta, that is subtle prana. And yogis, they get connected with that subtle prana, and they can do anything and everything. They can move anywhere and everywhere. That is what we know as our Ashtasiddhi Navanithi. Mind can work according to the creative force of the mind and of prana. That's how pranayam is most important in a yogic way. But jnana marga, nobody cares to the prana. But prana is there. Mind is everything. Mind means the connection with the cosmic mind, both. And prana also same thing, gross prana and the cosmic prana. You have to forget your individual identity, and you have to understand yourself as not the part and parcel, but you are the whole totality itself. Whether it is a sparkle of fire or it is a whole forest fire, where is the difference? It is all the same.
Guruji, one question. Does our prarabdha karma or sanchita karma influence the Ichha Shakti? And if so,
It is totally different. We shall discuss it next day. When you enter to that forest again, you cannot come out like that. What is then karma and how it is seen, how it is understood by different seers, what is called karma, how it is activated, how it reacts as karma phala, as per our Gita, all other scriptures, what is, how is karma, and how is its effect. Why, how, where, when, what is the method, and how to control it, how to be inactive. कहा गया ना गीता में ये सारा क्वेश्चन आएगा, कर्मणि अकर्मजः पश्येत्. Though Krishna asked Arjuna to kill everyone, yet he said, no, you are not the doer. But atta visaiman lokana tinna nivadhyate. So we have to enter to that dense forest of karma theory. Understood how life is motivated by karma, and without karma there is no life. What is karma and what is life? We gave some hints now. What is life means? Life means movement, beingness. What becomes because it has become, it is a being. Becoming means movement, having some movement, change. That's how one has become. Let it be human being or a dust particle. It is a being because it has become something. And how then its karmas are associated with the being. What is called karma? How they say karma is the rule to combine or to join all the creatures in this world together. And how is the reaction to the action? There is no action without reaction, and there is no reaction without action. And this is how the whole world is tied up, as it were, with one formula only, action and reaction. And this also is seen from different angles, not only action and reaction. Many other angles are also there seen. We shall see all these next time from different angles. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Sabda Brahma ki jai. Saraswati Maharani ki jai. Yoga Vasistha Bhagavan ki jai. Hari